Welcome to beautiful sunshiny Wanstead Park here in London and the latest edition of the Donny Diaries. Let's go. Oh yes, my friends, welcome back, a very warm welcome, and thank you all so much for coming back to my channel and watching these videos, diaries, whatever we want to call them. Yes, here I am in, look at this, it's beautiful, beautiful sunshiny Wanstead Park here in London. It's Monday, the 22nd of June. Yeah, is it? Oh, did I get the date right? Anyway, it's a glorious day here on Monday. And I've got a number of things to go through. There's three things I'm going to be going through. One is about a Mammoth bike ride that's coming up tomorrow. Another one is about nature or nurture. This topic often comes up, and I had a little interview chat with Chris, that running guy, and I'll be talking a little about that. And also walking. Is walking the new sexy? Yeah, so those are the three topics I'll be talking about. Let's continue. Ah, man, I could stay here all day. This is just my morning constitution. Not every morning I do this, but it depends on the weather, how I feel or whatever, but that's what I'm doing today. But I've got to give, before I go into those 3 points, I've got to give you all a big thank you to that latest video. Ooh, the excitement. Yes, it was so wonderful to get that new bike finally. I won't go through all the stuff that was going on. As you can imagine, apparently there's lots of things going on with this COVID outbreak, and the purchasing of bicycles seems to be a bit of a challenge. But anyway, I finally got it and it's fantastic. Svetlana, she's amazing. As you may have seen, I was a bit like a kid at Christmas with the new toy, and it's incredible. It's incredible the difference from Natalia, which is the giant Contend SL2 disc, and how that compares with this one, which is a giant TCR Advanced 3. Yes, if you're into those technicalities. But anyway, one's a aluminium frame, another one is carbon, and obviously there's lots of extras. But whoa, I was out with Svetlana yesterday, just a short 30k, and it felt effortless, felt amazing, absolutely amazing. It was a pretty breezy day, but it's just a little over an hour, and it felt really good. I think it's about an hour and 9. And yes, so thank you all so much for those lovely comments, and really do appreciate it, and appreciate the comments that you leave on this as well when I'm going to be going through the three topics. Yeah, so thank you. Let's get down to Lakeside and see what's going on down there. So here I am, Lakeside, here in Wanstead Park. I say lake, having been to Lake Zurich, those are lakes. This is more big ponds in between, oh, whatever the technicalities. Anyway, there's 3 of these in Wanstead Park, and it's so beautiful seeing the water life, the ducks and all sorts here. But yeah, number one of my 3 topics, I mentioned I've got an epic bike ride coming up, and if you have been following my channel regularly, if you look at that link up there, that back in May I cycled the longest distance ever in my life. Yeah, not bad for a sort of 59th birthday celebration type thing, or prepping for that. Now I'm in my 60th year, starting my 60th year. With all this COVID stuff that's going on, there's for me personally, there's not much to do, shall we say. So to fill our time, we sometimes take on challenges. So tomorrow I'll be taking on, all things being equal, on Tuesday the 23rd. There's been a lot of planning on this. I'm planning on taking it to another level, because that epic bike ride that I've done, the longest one, was 132 miles. I think it's 210 kilometers, longest ever. Prior to that was I think it was 105, which was the Lighthouse Challenge over in the Isle of Man. And so what am I planning on doing tomorrow? Well, I gotta take it another level. So 200 miles, yeah, 200 miles, 324 kilometers I think it is in total. And the route that I'll be following is pretty similar to what I've done before. So I'm going to head out from East London and head towards Cambridge, and then I go through Cambridgeshire and to Kings Lynn, and then basically I'm going to turn around and follow my way back again. Yeah, so it's about 100 miles from East London to King's Lynn, and then I'll be doing that route back. That's the plan. Yeah, I know. So wish me luck, and I hope all things will be cool. But the weather is going to be hot. I wanted it to be dry, and obviously I'm looking at the time differences because it's going to take me a long time to do this. So I want to make sure I'm doing it in daylight. I don't want to be traveling in the dark or whatever, so it had to be around this time of the year to go for my longest ride. And yeah, so I've been looking at different days this week. Today is a glorious hot sunny day, but the wind is pretty strong out there compared to tomorrow. And the day after, I think the Wednesday, Thursday, gets even hotter into the 30 degrees Celsius. So that is really hot. So it's getting a balance of heat, wind, and all that type of stuff. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. And yeah, wish me luck. And let's crack on to number 2. Oh, I gotta say, I do love a beautiful walk in the woods. It does sort of helps you connect with nature and feel really good. Yeah. So my second point that I wanted to just touch on, and I think this can become a whole vlog series, I think, so I'll be doing that sometime in the near future, I hope, and that is this topic of nature or nurture. And what do I mean by that, nature or nurture? You may have seen I had the interview last week with Carl Wellborn, very talented young guy, and running phenomenal times. And it's interesting that he himself was very humble and saying the times are just relative. But as I was saying, I think I may have mentioned it to him, if he started a YouTube channel right now, he'd be the fastest of all the YouTubers by a long way. Yeah, but he's very humble about it, and he goes about it in a different way. So yeah, really talented guy. Now, also a topic came up, I think it was a comment from and I'll be interviewing this chap this week. I think I've already interviewed him, and we'll probably publish it tomorrow, and that is Chris, that running guy. And he touched on that some people are sort of gifted to have speed, and but my point is that there's the nature or nurture debate is, yes, there's an element to things, but there's 3 things that determine our ability and what we can perform when it comes to races. Number 1 is talent. Yes, if we're born with some talent, then that is obviously going to help. Yeah, but there's 3 things now. Yeah, so the first one is talent. The second one is the training that we do. Yeah, so we can all do the right training. So you can have all the talent in the world. If you don't train, then someone who trains better than you can outdo someone who's got the natural talent. Yeah, but the third, sometimes almost crucial, but they're all as equal, is the actual diet that we have. So those are the 3 key factors that determine the overall makeup of us as recreational runners. And I'm a recreational runner, we're all recreational runners. You know, I would regard an elite athlete as someone whose 100% income is based on their performance, athleticism, and then there's the rest of us. So yeah, as good as I am, as good as Carl is, as good as others are, we're recreational runners. Yeah, so those are the 3 things. So whilst we may not be born with the best of talents, and I often get this come to me, oh, you've got some talent. Yes, there's some there, but I'm certainly not the most talented, yeah, by a long shot. But what I do, yes, there's 2 other things that I really focus on. That's smart training and a good diet. And as I say, that can become a whole series, and I'll go into detail of those. What do you think? Leave it in the comments below about those 3 points, nature or nurture. And watch out for tomorrow's interview with Chris, that running guy, and you'll enjoy me chatting with him. Very talented guy in his youth. Yes, county cross-country champion, one to watch. So my third point, as I'm walking along here along the river Roding, you can Google this, look up Roding Valley. I'll just take you down by the riverside so you can have a good look. There's a little swing here if you're feeling adventurous. Oh, I don't know about this, but oh, hey, hey. Anyway, this is the river. This is the river roading. Beautiful. And often I'm running on that trail on that side. But yes, the topic of walking. Why do I want to talk about walking when a lot of you who are watching are runners? Well, walking. Only this morning, yeah, it's what, 9 o'clock, around 9 a.m. and I can appreciate it's warm, but there's a lovely breeze. But for a lot of people running past me, panting, wheezing, dripping in sweat, and it sort of makes me think that for a lot of people, in particular beginner runners, novice runners, and I had to learn this myself, is you may have heard this thing, to get quick, to run quicker, we need to train slower. Yeah, and it's all to do with heart rate zones, all that type of stuff. You can look up that, and again, this may become a whole topic in itself. But I'm trying to make walking the new sexy, integrate it as part of your training, because as I mentioned, an overwhelming majority of people, when they're out training beginning, their heart rate is way too high, way too high. How do I know? Only the other day I was looking up some guys on connected on Garmin Connect, and they're running like 13.1 miles, doing half marathons, and it's all in zone 3. So it's great effort, but that's race effort. Yeah, now someone might say, oh, they might have been doing a time trial or whatever, but no, this is every week. So that's a lot of mileage in a zone that doesn't give you any cardiovascular benefits. Yeah, when you're going at that distance, it doesn't help. So why walk? Well, walking keeps the heart rate right down, yeah, in that zone 1, zone 2. And I'm almost sure for some of the guys running around this morning, they looked like they might have even been in zone 5. They looked red-faced, sweating. And for some people, again, that sweating, it's almost as if some feel that if they're not breaking a sweat, they're not trying hard enough. Well, as I go back to what I said earlier, and it's been proven scientifically, and Carl Wellborn talks about this in his interview, is to get quicker, the bulk of our training needs to be really slow. Yeah, really slow. These guys who are running around 2:20 marathons, I think Carl was running 2:21, 2:23, and he said his easy runs around 8.5 minute, 9-minute miles. Yep. Now it's known, and he mentioned that Kenyans, the top Kenyans, when they're doing easy runs, it's around 9-minute miles. So that may be difficult for us to swallow, but whilst our easy speed will be slower, considerably slower, but walking like this, like right now, I'm looking at my heart rate and it's 90. Yeah, so I'm walking and that's below my zone 1 rate, so I can pick up the pace and go easier. But for a lot of beginners, but I've now been training solidly for 4 years, over 4 years now, so the heart rate has consistently been going down as I get fitter. So that's all I wanted to say about the walking. And the beautiful thing about walking is I can talk with you guys, yeah, talk it easily. And you'll see some YouTubers who, when they're going on an easy run, they're conversing with you, but they may be slightly out of breath because they're going that little bit faster. But if you look at my races, I'm chatting to you whilst racing, I'm taking a little breather, a little pause, and then switch the camera off and then get back into race pace. So yes, what do you think? Leave in the comments below. Walking, and I know, Carl, if you're watching this, you're a great advocate of this as well, but yes, it takes more time to do the distances, but it's about time on feet, not distances. Yeah, we got that? It's time of training, not distance of training. So when you're training for a marathon, whatever your speeds, it's training to get your feet on, whether it be standing, walking, to stay on your feet for that amount of time. Make sense? I hope it does make sense. And that's all I wanted to say really about walking at this stage. And as I say, I may do a whole series about that and the benefits, and talk about mitochondria and the muscles that are developed whilst walking more later. Yes, I'm back. Second of the ponds here in Wanstead Park, and that concludes today's Donny's Diaries. Thank you all so much for watching. Really do appreciate your time, and hopefully you found it useful in terms of those 3 topics that I covered. Tomorrow's bike ride, 200 miles, a little over 200 miles, can't wait. The nature or nurture, and tomorrow's video I'll be publishing will be the interview with Chris, that running guy. I'll be talking more about that, very talented young guy. And number 3 about walking, is walking the new sexy. So thank you all so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you at the next Donny's Diaries. Yes, it's beautiful here, isn't it? Take care.